My time in Da Nang, central Vietnam has come to an end. This incredible little beachside town is often overlooked by the admittedly very, very picturesque but extremely touristy Hoi An. Now, I think this is a major mistake. Da Nang has it all. The food is absolutely amazing. The people here are incredible. So I want to give you 10 food reasons why you cannot skip Da Nang. Let's go.
Look at these guys. And then we've got our rice paper wraps. So we're going to be wrapping up our Banh Xeo in this. And then all these lovely herbs. So we've got some Vietnamese balm, some Thai basil, lettuce, all sorts of different pieces. All rice paddy herb. A little bit of rice paddy herb. Absolutely love this one. I just love this array of vegetables in general. All right, I like that the Banh Xeo are already cut up, because usually you have to cut them up with your chopsticks and I make an absolute mess of it. Right, so I'm going to get one of my rice paper wraps. Now, I've been watching everyone. Some people are putting these at the bottom, some people are putting their lettuce at the bottom. So I'm just going to put this at the bottom. All right, so you get your wrap. A little bit of lettuce, a little bit of fish wort, fish herb. I've got to get some of that rice paddy herb as well. What looks to be watercress, or some variation of. Yeah, I think that'll do me. Right, slice of cucumber. And a big dollop of that funky sauce. We're going to dip again, don't worry. Right, and then we just wrap this up, if I can. Like a spring roll. All right, one more dip in that sauce, and let's go. Wow, that sauce is incredible. So rich, so well seasoned. The pancakes themselves, super rich, super crispy. They're rich without being overly oily, but there is that richness there, and then that's cut with the freshness from this plate of fresh herbs. The main herb that I'm getting there is not for everyone, which is that fish wort, that fish herb. Some people say it tastes fishy, hence the name. I don't find it that fishy. It's got like a weird, like citrusy note on the back end, which I actually really like. All right, I'll wrap another one. As I said, people are doing this differently. I've been watching, some people have been putting the lettuce in first, some people put the lettuce on the top. I'm used to having just lettuce. I'm not used to having wraps when I'm in Vietnam. Saigon, every time I've eaten it, it's just been lettuce, big lettuce leaves or mustard green leaves. Now, I know my Vietnamese viewers will be telling me to take the stalks off the herbs, but I just can't be bothered. All right, in this one, I'm going to put some of that. What I first thought was daikon, and then I thought might be green mango, which is actually pickled papaya. So I'm going to put a load of that on. A few of these red chilies, take the stems off them. Everyone's looking at me funny. And we'll get a bit of cucumber as well. I probably put too much in this one, guys. And we'll go virgin with this one. We'll dip this one into the sauce. All right, so roll from each corner. There we go. Have a dip. I'm no expert, but that is hands down the best Banh Xeo I've ever had. I'm gonna just eat one without the wrappers. Even the prawns with the shell on, that's not bothering me at all. Pork and prawns, absolute marriage made in heaven, as I keep saying on my channel. Yeah, if you eat them by themselves, because of all that oil, they're a little bit heavy, but wrap them up with all this herbage, etc., etc. That's phenomenal. All right, this is my one, I think. She salted the steak first, I should expect. It's very friendly. You're probably getting sick of me saying that everyone's really friendly, aren't you? But everyone's really friendly. She's stuck that little bit of pate on, that's going to melt into the... Dạ.
Mình còn chả ăn bán.
Ah, chả lửa. So a bit of beef sausage as well.
Rồi Quán đó.
Come on. All right, so guys, look at this bubbling away. So I tried to order with no hot dog, but I ended up with no shumai, which makes me an idiot. But anyway, look at this. Served with one of those long, crunchy, crispy, still warm baguettes, which is going to probably break that in half. Well, not probably, we are going to break it in half. Make a little sandwich, have a little dip. Yes. Right, so we've got some Vietnamese sausage. I think this is beef. As I said, we've got that pate that's now melted into the sauce. We've got that beef steak at the bottom, covered in that like tomato and... Oh, that is hot. I just burnt my hand. We've got some chips. French fries for any of my American viewers. That sausage, which I don't want. So I'm going to put that over there. And look at those runny... Oh, look at that beautiful runny egg. Right, so I get a piece of my bread, dip it in that sauce, get a bit of that pate, bit of that egg. Let's try that. Yes. Yes. I tell you what that would be. The perfect hangover cure. Let me try this sauce and see what this actually is. Some sort of tomato sauce. I'm not sure if that's ketchup based. But anyway, mixed in with all those beef juices, the oil, the egg, the pate. It tastes good whatever it is. Bit of egg, bit of steak, bit of chips, some chips, some steak. Have a little dip. I love the fact they serve pate with everything here. The onions are just cooked through.
Hello, open.
Thank you. Come on. Look at that, guys. They'll even go and get you a fresh orange juice from over the road. So every time I've eaten this dish and it's probably, I've probably only had this 5 times. The steak's never been that tender, as you'd expect at this price point. It's not going to be like a filet mignon. But where it's been sliced so thinly, it's very, very manageable, full of flavour, and it's just a fun, hearty breakfast. And in general, the reason I wanted to show you breakfast today is because if, like me, you absolutely despise hotel breakfasts, you want to get out, eat as much local cuisine as possible, as early as possible, Vietnam is your place, because everything here opens, or a lot of stuff opens at 6 a.m. There's coffee shops open, there's shops like this open, there's noodle soup shops open, so everything opens really, really early. So if you want to get out early doors like me and just explore Vietnam, and Da Nang especially, is your spot. We got peanuts, some spring onions and coriander, cilantro, stewed beef. What's this? Chicken? Prawns, those rice noodles, and there's a few different types of these. I've seen this with yellow noodles as well. These are white. And then we've got a really strong concentrated broth. Right, then as usual, we've got our herbs, we've got our lettuce, we've got some shredded banana blossom. All those lovely little herbs at the bottom. Right, we'll chuck some of those on. Right, we've also got like a thick, sweet chili jam as well. So I'll be putting a bit of that in a minute, but I want to taste it with nothing in. Again, limes and green chilies. Fish sauce if you want it. Dried chili if you want it. Very rich, very intense broth. It's not a dish I've had many times. I've only really had this when I've been in Saigon. I had it in Hoi An once. Didn't think much of it, to be honest with you, but this is really, really flavourful. Savoury, sweet. I will dress this up to my taste. Right, I'll throw in a little bit of that sweet chili sauce. Couple of limes. We've got our herbs in there. I'll take a whole chili, why not, to chase. All right, let's go. Right, I'll go for a bit of this soup now we've pimped it up. All right, this is why I love Vietnam, Vietnamese soup so much, because there's so much to flavour the soup to your own palates. And now on top of that intense, rich stock, this chili sauce they've got here, I think they've made this themselves. It tastes like there's fermented bean paste in this, sort of like do ban jiang or like Korean bean paste. So you've got that really savoury note, but it's also quite sweet. And then you've got the sourness from the limes, you've got the heat from the fresh chilies, you've got all those lovely, fresh, wonderful herbs, the crunch from the banana blossom. Now, lifting that intense, rich broth. The soft noodles. Against those crunchy peanuts, you're creating texture. Let's try some of the beef. I would probably go just straight beef if I wasn't doing a video. I just wanted to show you guys what you could get. Quail leg. Okay. This is fantastic. Now I will say that I've never been that impressed with Mi Quảng. I've had it in Saigon and I've had it in Hoi An, and both times I didn't really think much of it, but this is really, really good. And I'm a noodle lover. I love pretty much all noodles. I don't think I've ever eaten a noodle dish and hated it. But this, just with all its different components, this is fantastic. I love this little shop itself. Super airy, open. It's like someone's house. As I said, in the afternoon, it turns into like a parking garage. Super, super friendly. They actually speak English here, which I wasn't expecting them to. Not that they should have to, for idiots like me that can't speak Vietnamese. All right, I'm gonna get some more noodles and chase it down with that chili. The chilies here are so much hotter than where I live. Oh, red hot. Look at this bad boy. Ah, work of art. Sorry, $1.20. It's about £1 actually, yeah. Just under, about 90p. It can't be. All right, guys, so let's have a look at this. We've got that crispy, crunchy marinated roast pork. Oh, look at that. I could probably just eat a bowl of this without that fish sauce all over it. We've got the nam cha, so fermented pork sausage. We've also got that beef sausage luncheon meat that we had in the Banh Mi earlier. Some peanuts, cucumbers, all those herbs. And he's telling me, mix that up. Okay, so we've got some mint. We've got lettuce, we've got that Vietnamese coriander. I'm making a mess already. All right. We've also got a bowl of limes. We've got some more of that funky fish sauce. Look at this. I don't know what's in this. Lemongrass, garlic, chilies. Nice. And if it's not spicy enough for me, we've got some pounded red chilies. And we've also got some fresh green chilies that don't actually look that spicy, but these little green ones are mental. Anyway, all right, let's cut it with a little bit of lime juice. I'll go with 2. All right, so by the smell of it, as soon as I walked in, I knew that smell. So it smells exactly like pala or padek. So if you're in Lao, padek, isam pala, that's what it smells like. But I will give it a taste. I'll just try the noodles first. Ooh. Right. It's very, very strong tasting. It's not necessarily fishy, it does taste a bit like padek actually. So it's salted, fermented anchovies as far as I can tell. I like the fact that it's peppered with a little bit of garlic, chili and lemongrass. Hold on, I'll be honest with you, it's very, very strong. All right, I'll try it with the pork. That pork is delicious. Absolutely melts in your mouth. Tender pork belly. A really, really crispy, crunchy outside. I mean, that is beautiful. So these rice noodles are the same noodles that we're going to have later in the Bun Dao shop. They're going to be pressed into a cake later, but it's the same sort of thing. And they're the same noodles for like Bun Thit Nuong. Bun Thit Nuong. That one's for you, Vu. As you can tell, my Vietnamese pronunciation is horrible, but these noodles are absolutely perfect for anything with a sauce, whether it's curry, whether it's a salad, whether in this case it's a fermented fish sauce. They just carry flavour so well. And where by itself, especially for someone who's not eaten fermented fish before, it could be slightly overpowering. You've got all of those fresh herbs, the mint, which is quite strong, so that's balancing it out. You've got the Vietnamese coriander, that's quite strong, so that's balancing it out. You've got the subtle freshness from all that lettuce and all the other herbs, spicy hit from the chilies, and then a zesty, citrusy hit from the lime. So again, so much going on, and what you're doing here with all the sauces on the table, all the chili, all the herbs, you're just building flavour on top of flavour, texture on top of texture. It's spicy, it's sour, it's salty, it's sweet. It's everything pretty much you're going to want from a bowl of food in Da Nang. Okay, so you saw what she put in, as I said, slices of 5-spice pork belly, crispy pork cracker. Looks like a prawn cracker or a crab cracker, but it's not. A little bit of that broth at the bottom. Let me have a little look at that. That thick broth mixed with that cooking liquor. And star of the show are these thick, chunky, chewy noodles. Oh, we got that rice paddy herb as well, that nice little bit of rice paddy herb that I love so much. Some type of mint, very strong mint. Is that spearmint? And some lettuce. Oh yes, there's not much of it, it's just a tiny little bit in the bottom, so it is super, super concentrated. Got that 5-spice cinnamon star anise coming through from the pork liquor. This is what makes these so famous. It is the chewy texture of these noodles, and that comes from the lye water. Oh, that is so good. I'm going to try a bit of this chili. It's just pounded salted chili, it's perfect. I might ask her for a bit more of that. There's a little fishiness coming through on the dish. I'm thinking there's some sort of prawns. Come on. I think it's a pork and prawn based stock as it goes. He's just giving me a little bit more of the soup, so you can see it's super concentrated. Real oily layer of fat on the top. See that layer of fat? Oh yes. All right, I'm gonna try a piece of the pork, and that's got that lovely chili sauce all over it. Fantastically well seasoned. Again, the main flavour I'm getting, that's 5-spice. It's really salty. There's a bit of work to do here with the pork, but again, that's why you got tea. Very, very good. I'm going to chuck in one of my green chilies and some of these. I don't know, a lot of people call them kumquats. I thought they were calamansi, so whatever. You squeeze them over your fingers. One, you can clean your hands, and two, catch the seeds. So I'm going to put 2 of these in. If you've never had these before, it's almost as if an orange had a baby with a lime. Thank you, come on. So he's giving me a little bit more of the chili sauce. I'm going to pour some more of that on. I don't want to ruin it, but that is fantastic. Right, I'm going to give this a good mix up with a few more of these herbs. Oh, we got some of that fish herb I like as well. Get it all mixed up nice. Let's try a pork cracker. The texture of the noodles is absolutely incredible. They are so chewy, so bouncy. An Italian's wet dream. I really wish we had these where I live. I could drink these. As I said, almost like an orange, like a bitter orange has had a baby with a lime. Right, next up we've got the Bun Thit Nuong. So we've got cucumbers, we've got the bun, which is the fresh rice noodles. Then on top, we've got the same grilled beef that we've got over there with the lalop leaves, peanuts, green mango, and a few herbs at the bottom with some chilies, etc., etc. Now I probably didn't need to get this. I didn't realise that it was the same beef that I ordered separately on the plate. So the only thing I've got in here that I haven't got on the plate are the bun, the noodles. We'll try and get a bit of everything. Wow. Oh, that is incredible. This is so different from the bun thit that I've had in Saigon. Saigon, it usually comes with like a nok cham, the sort of sweet fish sauce, dipping sauce, whereas this has got that rich pork and hoisin liver sauce over the top. These noodles, if you've never had these before, the bun, similar to Khanom Jin, they have them in Cambodia, they have them in Thailand. They have them everywhere, basically, Myanmar. They're just a brilliant, brilliant vessel for any sauce, any flavour. That is everything you want. It is rich, it's slightly sour, it's fresh. You've got various different textures going on. That sourness coming through from the pickled papaya, or dudu they call it here. Wow. And that beef is exceptional. I think it's just been marinated in a little bit of fish sauce, some pepper. Lemongrass and some sugar. And that taste of the what people call betel nut leaf, which is technically it isn't, but we'll call it a betel nut leaf. It's a hard one to describe. It's sort of bittersweet. One of my favourite herbs or leaves in the world. Which is what I came to Vietnam for. All right, guys, I've sat down. I'm so excited to try Vietnam's #1, as far as I can tell, rated on Google, com tam stool, okay? This looks epic. All right, come in, take a closer look at what we've got, because we've got to do some cutting up. We've got to do some mixing up. Like my man Max McFarlane told me when I was in Saigon, com tam is best enjoyed when it's cut up and all mixed together. So let's take a look at what we've got. All right, so we've got everything. We already saw her make it, so I'm not going to run you through exactly what we've got, but extra-wise, we've got some chopped. Okay, guys, so here it is in all its glory. Now, I'm not going to run you through what we've got, because I already did that in the kitchen. What I will show you is the extras. So we've got some red chopped chilies, some more of the spring onion, and some more of the crispy little gubbins of pork fat. Now she told me, Út Vân told me that the reason there's not much on here is because people from the south, like Saigon, like more and more chilies, and people from the north like less and less chilies. Also, we've got a lovely little pork soup to try. Look at the oil on the top of that. It looks beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to get cutting, and then we're going to mix everything together. All right, guys. So I've got my scissors here, right? So I'm actually going to cut this up. Just going to use my fingers. Oh no, there's the bone. All right. So we'll cut it off the bone, and then we'll eat the bone later. I'm not going to eat the bone, but you know what I mean. We'll eat round the bone later, like we did at the Bun Bo shot. All right. Bone over there. We'll cut up this. We'll cut the pork up. Don't care. We'll get our hands dirty. I don't care. We'll cut it up into nice little pieces because I want to get it all mixed up with the rice. All right, they're all laughing at me because I really don't know what I'm doing, do I? All right, so let's get that onto the rice. Get it all mixed in. I want mine all mixed in. I want to get some of this egg cake with the glass noodles and the wood ear mushrooms going through it. So you've got steamed egg cake, and then you've got that runny egg. Let's get that yolk done. We'll break that up. Some of the pork skin. We'll get it all in there. We'll get it all mixed up, a la Max McFarlane style. Okay. I'm just going to throw all of these chilies in because I love it. And I love this spring onion oil as well. So I'm going to add all the chilies, all the spring onion. You know I need mine spicy. She just said to me, yeah, you're from Bangkok, aren't you? I said, yeah. So she knows I need it spicy. Right, a little bit of the nok chum. Just a bit, she said, just a bit, all right? Let's go. Try and get a bit of everything. The pork, the grilled pork is insane. So well seasoned, heavy on the seasoning. Got a massive hit of lemongrass, where there's just so much pounded lemongrass in that marinade. As I said, all the oils have separated, coated the pork chop. It's sweet, it's smoky, it's salty. Textures, let's talk textures. You know I love a texture. So you've got that soft egg cake, you've got the fluffy, perfectly steamed broken rice. And if you're not used to eating broken rice, it's got such a different feel in your mouth than normal rice. The texture of broken rice is more like large couscous, especially where it's been steamed like this. It's like steamed couscous. I love these chunky pickled carrots and daikon. Sweet and sour. The egg cake's delicious, springy, bouncy. There's a lot of flavour. You'd think this would be bland, but it's got a strong hit of onion. It's got the wood ear mushrooms, which are dehydrated, rehydrated mushrooms, giving you like an umami hit. And that nok dam. Sweet, sour, and spicy. You can really pick up the background hit of pineapple where she was boiling pineapples with it. But look at the consistency, viscous. Look at that, thick. Spicy, as I said. This is just real hearty, comforting. Workers' food. And do you know what? Every so often, through the soft rice, you get a big, crunchy hit of delicious pork fat from those little crispy gubbins. So if you're not familiar with Gom Tam and where this came from, it's a dish that originated in Saigon, in the south. And it was basically the leftover rice, the broken rice that was left over after the milling process and the drying process to harvest actual, what we know as rice in the West. The broken rice was used for rice flour, for like pet food and stuff like that. But the farmers realised, you know what, we can turn this into something delicious. It became so popular in Saigon that now actually people break their own rice because there isn't enough broken rice to feed demand. So basically demand has outstripped supply. It's no longer a surplus thing where, you know, we're just trying to use up and not let anything go to waste. It's actually its own thing now and people absolutely love it. And I'm a fan, I'm a big fan. As I said before in another Kamtam video, I'm a simple man. This is a bit of me after a long day, hard days and manually working. This is what I want. This is what I want to come home to. So Helen, if you're watching, actually I do the cooking at home, so I'll cook it for you.
Can you eat this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like this one.
Yes.
All right, so this is the shrimp paste, guys. The fermented shrimp that everyone's so scared of. I can actually smell it from here, but for me, it smells incredible. So it's a thick, stinky, gloopy mess of fermented shrimp. I'm gonna try it now with nothing in. Oh, look at the oil. Oh, beautiful. Right, I'm gonna try this now with nothing in it, and then I'll pimp it up to how I think it should be. All right, now that is the stuff. Guys, everyone thinks that because it's fermented shrimp, it's gonna be super, super fishy and overpowering. That is just, again, I'm gonna use the word I don't like using, an umami bomb. That is just savory encapsulated. If you needed to put a picture of savory next to savory, the word, in the dictionary, this is what I'd use. It's not just straight shrimp paste though, that's a tongue twister. There's some shallots in there, some garlic, a little bit of sugar, some spices. I'm gonna need mine a little bit more sour than that though, so I'm gonna stick in some of these calamansi, and obviously you know I'm gonna need some chili, so I'm gonna stick in a load of chili, but my man's just got over here with my platter. And he's saying, pimp that up with a little bit of chili. They call it lemon, but these are calamansi. Now I know a lot of people call these kumquats, but I'm pretty sure that these are calamansi. We'll go seeds and all, I can't be bothered to pick those out. Let's see if one's going to be enough. It's better. One more. Then we'll take some of our fresh red chilies. All right. And basically what we're going to do, oh look at the foam, look at the foam. Right, basically what we're going to do, we're going to get our bits and pieces. We've got a variety of different pieces to dip, and we're just going to dip those and go. So this is the Bun Dao, excuse my pronunciation. So this is basically a pressed rice noodle cake like we saw earlier, like we had earlier with our Bun Thit. The star of the show for me though are these fried, puffed up pieces of tofu, because these are like a sponge. Anything you dip this in, it's going to take on all that flavour. We've got some blood sausage. Got some blood sausage, some herbs going through there, a little bit of fat. We've got some intestine. Boiled pork. Not sure what this is, but I will ask him in a sec. Some cucumber and our array of herbs. So we've got some perilla leaves, fish herb, because some people say it tastes like fish. I can't really taste that. All right, so I'm gonna grab a little piece of something. I'll start with the tofu. I'll have a little dip. Nice. Nice bit of that shrimp paste on there. See the inside? If you don't like tofu, this is the way to eat it. Crispy, crunchy on the outside, soft and absolutely delicious on the inside. And again, it's like a sponge for anything, any kind of sauce. Love this in soups, it takes on all the flavour, but for me, the perfect accompaniment to this funky, salty, flavour-packed sauce. Now it's got the calamansi in it. It's sour, it's salty, we've got those little red chilies, really spicy, and you just keep going from there, keep building. Let's get a little bit of our bun. I don't know what all the fuss was about. We've eaten these 2 dishes they said we couldn't eat. Easy. Fresh rice noodles, no matter what you're putting on them. Curry, the Bun Thit Nuong, sorry for my pronunciation. Anything, just take on flavour. Like rice, the rice noodles, they're plain. They're there to literally soak up any flavours you like. All right, I'm actually going to pick off a little bit of this leafage, so a bit of the wort, a little bit of the perilla, Joe Parilla, if you're watching. I'll have that just to freshen up that meat. But again, we're going to dip. We're going to keep dipping every time, just building flavours, guys. Oh, I've dropped my leaf. I'll drop one of them anyway. Right, now I've finally got my act together. I absolutely love that fish wort, the fish herb. Like, it's slightly astringent and bitter, but I love it, especially against this really peppery, like floral perilla leaf. Absolutely love it. Oh, I've abandoned the chopsticks. When you're having stuff that's fried like this fried tofu, it's nice to chase it when everything's so rich and a little bit heavy. It's nice to chase it with some delicious fresh herbs. I could literally drink this sauce. I could literally drink that sauce straight out of a bottle. Alright guys, so we're here, first stop. Looks absolutely incredible, it smells incredible. All I can smell is that meat grilling over these coals. Let me show you, this is a proper little operation. Super local. There's just 2 ladies here, one's doing the grilling and one's doing the packing of the banh mi, the baguettes. But this looks pretty special, so let's take a look. Right, so this lady's basically, she's just grilling. So she gets the skewers from up here onto the coals, pats them with the baguettes, and these baguettes have actually been brushed in soy sauce and peanut oil, I believe. Now these skewers are marinated pork, so you can see on there you've got some lemongrass, you've got some fish sauce, some garlic, some sugar, and they're being grilled over these hot coals. She's grilling the baguettes at the same time, so they're going to be nice and crispy. And then once she's finished grilling these, she hands them over to this lovely lady. She takes them from here and starts to build our banh mi. So you've got mayonnaise, some carrots and daikon. Well, it just looks like it's just daikon actually today. Handmade chili sauce, handmade pate, some herbs. But yeah, this is just a conveyor belt of delicious banh mi. Alright, so although we're in Da Nang, this is actually from a place called, I can't pronounce this, Langson? Langson? No? And yeah, so they're special. So what's different between these and a normal Da Nang baguette is that these are smaller. Da Nang baguettes are usually bigger, so these are smaller, so you can eat 2 or 3. Oh look, Shopping Man's come and taken 10. That's why they were making so many. And I love the way she's doing this. She's actually leaving the baguette so it doesn't get too crispy on top of the meat. So I guess it's soaking up some of the juices, and at the same time, it's not overcooking. She's moved these away from the heat, so these are cooked. She's going to start with these. And as I said, you can see the glaze on them, so you've got that soy sauce, peanut oil glaze. This lady's done me. She's come in. I said, no, you go in front of me. She ordered 7. Bye-bye. And now she's making my one. I wish I could speak Vietnamese. I can't speak any Vietnamese. We've got the mayonnaise going on. Pate, yes. Soy sauce. Okay. I've asked her for extra spicy. She's going to hook me up. Spring onions, coriander, Vietnamese coriander. There is carrots and daikon. She's going to hit me up with a whole slice of cucumber. Ah, no bad. Damn it. Yes. Alright guys, I'm literally going to have to eat this on the floor. Oh my god. Alright, let's have a look. So you got that grilled meat. The nuong. The cucumber, look at the oil that's come off onto the bread. Look how crispy and crunchy this bread is. Look. We'll break that in half. It's not usually this crispy. Oh, I've dropped a bit. Alright, let's go. Alright, here goes, guys. I was going to take you down to the beachfront to eat this, but it's like a gale force wind out here, so I can't do that. So, here we go. It's everything. Like, the pork is unbelievable. After I'd finished the first one, it was still the flavour of the lemongrass, the sugar, the soy, the fish sauce, that smoke. That's still, I can still taste it like 5 minutes later. That's why I had to go back and get another one. I love the Vietnamese coriander. I think they call it Vietnamese coriander. We call it pat pao. Or laksa herb, some people call it. It's like that soapy herb. I absolutely love it, especially with fish or grilled meats. It tastes almost like medicine on its own, or soap. Yeah. No, I'm not even sure I should bother going to the second place. No one's beating this in, Danaang. It's the glaze. The glaze is what makes it. It's kind of sticky in your hand, but it's not sweet. It's definitely not sugar. She had 3 different pots, and I know one was oil, I know one's soy sauce. I don't know what the other one is, but it's not sweet at all, but it is really sticky. I think the stickiness comes from the soy sauce, but it's an incredible banh mi, honestly. Oh my God, look at this, guys. Woo! All right, how am I gonna finish all this? Okay, so let me show you exactly what I've got in my bowl, apart from this beef bone that's actually made me lost for words, which, as you know, is something of a rarity. I cannot get over the size of this bowl. Look at this beef bone. The size of this beef, it's like a back rib of beef in the bowl, along with, we've got some beef shin, we've got some sliced beef, some blood, we've got some crab balls, we've got some handmade beef balls, and crab balls are made by hand as well, some more shin there. I think we've got some more sliced pork. I'll have to show you some more as we get further down the bowl. We've got those lovely fresh rice noodles and that absolutely stunning broth. Intense is the word I would use. An intense flavour, like a little background hit of shrimp paste. A deep flavour from the beef bones where they've been stewing those down for hours and hours and hours. She's actually got a big pot of the bones sitting there. Just get my head in and just, Then next to it, she's got the pot of that broth that's been bubbling away with the annatto seed oil, the lemongrass, the garlic. Is spicy straight off the bat with me adding absolutely nothing to it. But it's so rich, it's almost milky, like the fat from the broth is coating my whole mouth. That is incredible. I'm gonna add some limes to this, just cut through the little bit of fat there, give it a little bit of acidity. So I'm gonna use 2 limes. And I'm also gonna get a little dollop of this satay, which is lemongrass, garlic, chili, and oil, a little bit of sugar, just to add a little bit more spice. Right, we can't even mix that all up. We're gonna have to add this in sections. This is an insane amount of food. I love the punchy flavour from the lemongrass, the chilies. For me, this is Vietnam's best noodle soup. Sorry guys, all you pho lovers out there. I know pho is meant to be quite delicately flavoured and it's not meant to be in your face, but I like in your face flavours, and this, boy, guys, is in your face. All right, I'm gonna try and attack this beef bone. I'm not sure whether to just literally try and gnaw it off. Do I break it in half? Right, I'm gonna get a spoon. I'm gonna get my spoon and just run it along that bone. Guys, as you know, meat that's closest to the bone always has the most flavour. You get all that collagen, the fat. Everything's just broken down. It takes some work to get meat this soft, but oh, is it worth it? I asked him the proper way to do it, my new mate, the owner, and he just said do it however you want. Some people just pick it up and literally just gnaw it off the bone. Some people scrape it off. So I'm gonna scrape off what I can and then I'll just gnaw the rest off. I'll put that bone to the side. So I've got that in my soup now, look. Look at the colour of this soup. Perfect. Right, I'm gonna add some of the veg. We've got some shredded Morning Glory. I'm not sure the name here, I would call it Pak Bung, but I'm not at home, so I won't. Then we've got a Vietnamese herb, which I'm not familiar with. Is this Vietnamese mint or Vietnamese basil? Could be. Then we've got some banana blossoms and banana flour, which are just, they don't taste of anything, they're just there for texture, but you guys know I love a bit of texture. And also some of these handmade pickles. They're pickled onions and pickled carrots and pickled chilies, so we'll chuck a couple of them in. All right, beef ball next. It's wonderfully sweet, great texture, very, very well seasoned. One thing they do here in Vietnam is good meatballs. For sure, they're usually handmade, they're not mass processed. Well, they are if you come to a place like this. Right, crab ball. Okay, so I think that is a mixture of crab and pork, lemongrass, garlic. Wow, amazing. All right, now we've got all our veg in, our sauce in, our satay, everything, the lime juice. I'm gonna get some of that beef, look at that, tender beef that I got off of that caveman style beef rib. The beef, the slow cooked beef near the rib is insane. I love the shin, I love the brisket, but that for me, that is my ideal eating situation. I love the fresh veg giving you a little bit more texture and crunch. Very, very nice. It's almost like a lemony kind of flavour. Shin is absolutely delicious. You've got all the flavours in the soup of all the different meats that they boiled. It's just a meaty, hearty, rich soup. It's perfect, as I said, on a rainy, miserable day in Da Nang City. All right, I'm gonna get some of that tendon next. I do like a bit of tendon, we'll try that. So tendon's more there for like texture and flavour, but it does sort of like sponge up some of the flavours. I think I compared it to a beef wine gum. Someone said it doesn't taste the beef in my comments, but it does taste the beef, so. All right, so this is not just the best thing I've eaten since I got to Da Nang. This could be the best noodle soup I've had in Vietnam. In any trip that I've been to Vietnam, this could be number one. This is even better than the one Max took me for out by the airport in Saigon. This is serious. Guys, if you're in Da Nang, or even if you're in Hoi An, just take the trip up. This, my friends, this is incredible. So the broth by itself, I mean, look at this. You've got that sediment at the bottom. And the colour of that, that's like, this is like Michelin star stock territory. The stock by itself is the most intense, like rich beef flavour I think I've ever tasted from a soup. Do you know, I often think, like, what would I bring? If I brought my old man out, if I brought my dad out here, what would he eat? What would I be able to get him to eat? He would be in heaven with us. He would sit here until this bone is clean as a whistle. So I'd say the only thing that holds me back in going in a place like this, like, I'd still go in, but what holds me back from getting what I want is the fact I can't speak Vietnamese. I'm trying my best, but it isn't sticking with me. But like, what I mean is I can't even order what I want, apart from pointing, which you can get away with. It's hard to get exactly what you want, but the husband in here speaks English, so, and the wife, the owner, they're really friendly, both of them, but he speaks English, so you can get exactly what you want. So he sorted it out, he ordered for me, and it's come, and it's been absolutely perfect. So yeah, I think this is a good place to come, and if the husband's in here, you're in luck. If not, just point to whatever you want, or show her this video, and you'll get this delicious beef bone madness. Okay, so that was 65,000, guys. Best value soup, maybe in Vietnam. Come on, thank you so much. All right, come and see my friend.